All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's the East Brandywine Township Board of Supervisors PM meeting, Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and it's 6:30 PM. I want to remind everybody, a recording device will be in use during this meeting. Let's open the meeting with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't forget it. Public comment for agenda items. Rules for conduct of public meetings established by Resolution 2001-08 state that the time allocated to each individual making a comment shall be 3 minutes unless otherwise set by the presiding officer. Additional public comment may be granted at the discretion of the presiding officer at the conclusion of the meeting. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our September 7th AM meeting?
So moved.
Any comments or discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is the treasurer's report, authorization to pay bills and approval of payroll. Before we make a motion, I want to comment. I think I'll do this now. I want to thank the township staff, especially our new treasurer, Emily Albert, and Luke, for helping us. I guess, Lisa, you even had a hand in it too. You had to prepare all those things. But we have gradually changed our bank accounts from S&T to Fulton. And we're maintaining a relationship with both. But the ones that will earn interest to a money market fund are now sitting at Fulton. During the next 12 months, if we have the same amount of money, which right now is pretty much the average balance. I went back and calculated the average balances for the last year. We keep the same amount of money in the bank at the current interest rates, which more than likely will remain the same the next year. Township will earn $440,000 in interest. That's the equivalent to 0.6 of a mil, saving the taxpayers. So I want to thank the staff. It's a lot of work to change those accounts over, and a lot of patience, and a lot of meetings. And I just appreciate the work and the stick-to-itiveness of the township team members to get that done. So thank you. All right, I reviewed the treasurer's report, and I don't have any questions. Anybody have any questions?
I don't either.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to reports, we have the manager's report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I appreciate your kind words to staff about the transition of the accounts and the much higher interest-bearing accounts that have been created. I do want to say that I think that you, Mr. Chairman, should get most of the credit. It is your initiative that got the ball rolling on this process. So thank you for your initiative and your own financial background. This evening I have a brief report. I want to start with the Office of the Auditor General has released 2023 state aid unit values. The township has received $227,287.54 to be used towards the township's minimum municipal obligations of $314,392 to the 2 pension plans, and that payment is due before December 31st of this year. I'd also like to touch on some events that are coming up before our next meeting, beginning with the Township's Fall Festival. The Fall Festival is the successor to an August event, which was the Good Neighbor Day. It's a very fun event out in the park. It is October 8th from noon to 3 p.m. I hope to see you there. The second of 3 Historical Commission Fall Speaker Series. Speakers will feature an author who wrote the book, Women in Penn's Woods, A History of Women in Pennsylvania. That will be in this room on October 15th at 3 p.m. And then the last Chester County Household Hazardous Waste Collection event will be at the Chester County Government Services Center on October 7th. Online registration is required. If you've got household-generated pesticides, oils, fuel that you won't put in your mower anymore, this is the place to get rid of it. Please take advantage of this program. Respectfully submitted, Township Manager. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess you're not allowed to use that gas for weed killing.
That is not encouraged.
All right, building inspector's report.
Would you like me to read the report into the record,
Yes, I
Mr.
was
Chairman?
seeing, yes, please.
For August 2023, there were a total of 17 building permits issued and 1 zoning permit issued. Fees collected for the building and zoning permits totaled $6,334. There were 22 use and occupancy permits issued and 169 inspections completed with 0 failed inspections. The total fees were the same, $6,334. This report is submitted by Noreen King, Permits Administrator.
Thank you. And Township Roadmaster report, are you delivering that also?
I had not planned on it. I will.
Pictures, but poor Francis doesn't have the pictures.
I'll hit the highlights, and that is that the 2023 road paving project is complete. The project included paving School Lane, Keller Way, Kristen Circle, La Vita Via, and Batten Drive. Also included were seal coating on Timber Pass, Banyan, Cumberland, and all of the Cumberland development. So that would include Margle Farm and Ingleworth and a few other roads in Cumberland. The roadmaster would like to extend his appreciation for the neighbors who were inconvenienced during the project. That's the highlights. I'll read for the record, unless you want me to
Well,
just read the report.
I think you ought to mention the bamboo.
Very good.
That's been an issue for years, so.
Okay, so there were 7 letters sent to property owners in the township in reference to bamboo permitted to grow in adjacent to roads. To date, all but 1 has complied with the ordinance. We will continue to monitor properties for additional locations. Thank you to those who complied. It will make our roads safer during inclement weather, and it just generally improves the visibility. The roadmaster has included a photograph of how bamboo can encroach on the right-of-way and severely restrict the line of sight for the motoring public.
Thank you. Okay, Police Department report. Chief?
Good evening. Just a reminder to all our residents that with the schools back in session, we are running speed details in the school zone at Brandywine Wallace Elementary. Please give yourself plenty of time to drop off and pick up your children. The school zone speed limit is 15 miles per hour, and the times run from 7:30 to 9 a.m. and 3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m. The police department's total monthly events for August were 2,234. The department completed 202 investigations. We had 6 criminal arrests, 10 summary arrests, 1 warrant arrest. There were no juvenile petitions completed for the month. We had 8 traffic accidents, 150 traffic citations were issued, 59 traffic warnings were issued, and the officers logged 9,721 miles of patrol. Training completed for the month, Officer Tanner Smith and Officer Dan Miller completed Accident Recon 2. There are 3 levels of that. They've completed 2 of them. And Officer Dan Miller completed Field Training Officer certification. We received 2 correspondence. One was from Tredyffrin Township, thanking for our assistance on July 4th. We provided an officer to them for their Fourth of July celebration, and we were reimbursed for all the expense. Second was from Hopewell Cub Scout Pack 8. They thanked Sergeant Ferraro for stopping down during their Cub Pack meeting when the Cavalante search was going on. And it was more of a, just secure feeling to have one of these officers down there while they had their meeting. You have copies of the monthly investigations, the officer activity reports, and correspondence. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The fire company report. Mr. Evans.
Good evening. Joe Edwards for the East Brandywine Fire Company. For the month, we had 75 total incidents. We had 32 fire calls, 42 medical calls. East Brandywine Fire responded in East Brandywine Township 11 times, medical 20 times. We used 210 gallons of East Brandywine fuel. We had 4 training sessions with an average of 24 personnel at each training session, and we averaged 16 volunteers for each major incident. We did make our budget presentation to the Budget Committee this week, and I believe it went well. We'll wait to hear their recommendations back to us or what they were willing to accept as our suggestion. I would like to note for the township, and if we could, Luke, if you could generate getting it on our sign out front, the Firehouse Fire Prevention Open House is Wednesday night, October 18th, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the fire station. And just to highlight the type of October that we're going to have, the fire company will be at Hopewell Preschool, Brandywine Wallace, East Brandywine Baptist Church, Applecross Fall Fest, East Brandywine Park Fall Fest, and that is just the
I can't.
things at East Brandywine, let alone what we have to do in West Brandywine also. But October is always a busy month for the fire department because of Fire Prevention Month and all of the requests that we'll fulfill.
All right, thank you, Chief, former chief. Okay, old business. Not aware of any old business. New business, the Police Department completion of probation of Officer Parsons and Officer Sosa. Chief?
I'm very happy to report to the board that Officer Gary Parsons and Officer Rebecca Sosa have completed their probationary periods. We're within the 30-day range, so as a result of that, I'd like to request the board approve a motion to make Officer Gary Parsons effective September 26th, a permanent employment status, and effective October 4th, Officer Rebecca Sosa, the permanent employment status.
Any discussion or questions from the supervisors? None. I'll make a motion that we, I don't know whether it's promote or we approve the permanent position as officer for Officer Parsons and Officer Sosa.
I'll second.
Other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Zoning or subdivision and zoning applications, we have none this month that we have to hear. Ordinances and resolutions for consideration, there are none. Public comment on non-agenda items. Seeing none. Notices, there have been no executive sessions have been held between Friday, September 8th, 2023, and the PM session today on September 21st, 23. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. Thank you.